So hello girls and boys, anybody, ladies, gentlemen, anybody in between, anyone who's not sure. On the way here I was following a guy on a 250, going quite nicely actually, until we got to a roundabout. He stopped at the roundabout, then shot onto it, and a car who started to join the roundabout at the same time was suddenly right in front of him, and he was giving this driver a mouthful and blasting his horn, and I've seen this on a few videos. Now, you know, if you're on a motorbike, respect the fact that you are so much faster than cars, buses, lorries. The more mature riders, they never have these incidents because they understand and they appreciate. If you are having these problems where lorries and cars and buses are pulling out in front of you on roundabouts or near junctions, look at your speed. Look at the speed with which you accelerated away from your section of the roundabout. Try going, just for 1 week, try going round roundabouts at the same speed as a car. I've done it, it's an object exercise. Always try to approach roundabouts so you're behind a car, and if you can, follow them on at the car speed, and you'll find you don't have these problems. These problems evaporate. Now we'll go for a little ride through the country lanes today. So what brings the red mist down for you? We all have it. I've had incidents, not very often. I'm lucky. I tend to very rarely get upset now. The ones that annoy me are drivers doing something where they're not paying attention, because that's deadly. They pull out the pub and they're talking to their wife and they crawl down the road at a silly speed. Or like that lorry I made an obscene gesture to on the A12. He was just sat behind another lorry in the outside lane. He just sat there for miles, purely because one was a wide load and he was probably a nervous driver and too scared to pass it even though there was room. When the road widened up, he went for it. So he got me annoyed purely because of his lack of skill and consideration. He could have waited behind the vehicle and let normal traffic go until there was a wider section. So it's ignorance. Ignorance winds me up. But I don't think it gets a red mist going. I've not had a red mist for a lot of years. Do you suffer the red mist? And if so, what brings it on for you? What gets you to the point you want to murder somebody, or you want to scream till slobber's coming out your mouth and rant? I know there's a lot of you do. Flood, that's not a flood. I know there's an awful lot of you do want to rant like this occasionally. So, what's your trigger? Do you handle it afterwards? Do you go away from a point of upset, seething? Do you feel stressed afterwards? Do you feel exhilarated afterwards, that you've had this little adrenaline rush of anger and it's all now gone away? It's an interesting subject, anger, and the more videos I watch, the more I see people are suffering from it. They're impatient and intolerant of other drivers who aren't as fast as their 350 motorbike. And so they get wound up. Why? Why do they want to get wound up? Morning. Yeah, I've lost my temper seriously twice in my life, and both times it had serious repercussions. That's not bad for 43 years. And I will have a grumble at somebody, don't get me wrong. If they're on the phone, I'll tap on their window and get off the phone. But it doesn't last, and it hasn't raised my stress levels. Does it raise your stress levels when you get another motorist doing something silly? Or do you just shrug and accept? I shrug and accept majority of idiots. I'll just point them out and go, dozy git. So it'd be interesting to know what drivers you have. Let's try another country lane. I haven't been up any of these for years. I suspect they're probably muddy, and I shall totally regret this. But it's a gorgeous day. The polishers are out today. I've seen about 6 motorbikes, which I would never normally see. So you've got all the scared to ride in the rain crowd out. The road's not as bad as I thought it would be. Professional drivers get me angry. Theoretically professional drivers. Bus drivers who just pull out on you. I've driven buses, I know better than that. Taxi drivers who will do anything in front of you. Suddenly do a U-turn, stop in the middle of the road, do anything they want because they own the road. Taxi drivers, I think all taxi drivers personally should be lined up against the wall and shot. I've had more near misses with a taxi driver than with any other vehicle on the road. Purely because greed. Their eye is on the money. Somebody puts their hand up, whoosh. Now, I'm not talking private hire because they're normally booked from A to B. I'm talking taxi drivers, those you can hail, because they will just do a U-turn in the road and they'll forget to indicate. Or they just can't be asked to indicate. Or they'll stop right on the junction. Or I've had one stop on a zebra crossing. Taxi drivers of the world, you are the world's worst drivers. So-called professionals, you're about as professional as the ladies that stand on the streets at night. See, I have my bigotry. But that's against bad driving, not against the people personally. It's against the way they drive, and they could drive better. They just don't want to. That makes them numpties. Inappropriate speeds. The people who go too slow on a main road, that can wind me up a little bit. Or those who are going far too fast through a section of dangerous road, you know, near a school or high street or whatever, and you see them, they roar down, they wind me up a bit. But when my red mist did come, a few times it did come, it washed away as quickly. And when I get upset with somebody, or when I get angry with somebody, or when whatever, I think because I've had to be sort of firm and on the border of anger quite a few times with people, I've learned to control it. And I can switch it on and off, but that's something I gained over the years. I can switch my anger on like a light bulb and switch it off just as quick, and there's no residue. I don't think about it 5 minutes later. I'm not still chunching about it. Something really wound me up when I was married, and I'd go home 10 minutes later. The wife would never know because it washed away by then. So does anger last with you? Does it have a residual effect? Are you lucky enough to be one of those people who never ever gets angry? Now they fascinate me. The gentle people, those who can tolerate just so much and never get angry. I truly respect those people. You see them in all walks of life, Terry Waits and certain teachers, and they just you never get to the end of their patience string. I respect those people. Are there any of you like that? You've never been wound up? Nothing can wind you up? Pretend millionaires row this, where everybody who thinks they've got a bit of money comes. They're all pseudo rich, if you know what I mean. On the way up, they're not going to go any further. Their bank accounts are stretched to the max to try and make themselves look as though they've got a little something. Okay, that's me chunted out now. Answers on a postcard. What gets you to flip out? I'm going to enjoy my ride and concentrate on riding now, so enjoy your day. I hope it's as sunshiny here on Sunday, although I probably won't post this today. This is Sunday the whatever, 15th. I hope you have had a glorious day as well. Remember to ride safe and try and stay happy. You've got no reason not to be happy. Well, I hope. I'd love to think you've got no reason not to be happy. Be a shame if you are unhappy. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.